How you guys doing? Welcome. Today is 12/12/2021. It's almost like forward backward on the day, but it's not, but it's close. That's pretty cool. Hey, look who showered this morning. That's nice. If you are new here, welcome. This is all about technical analysis and my watch list for the day into the 12/13 and 12/14. If you are new, welcome. I appreciate you being here. One bit of advice for you: run while you can. No, what I think what's good is that you should probably watch the whole entire episode, though. I think if you're new here, watch the whole entire thing. Make sure you like it, and if you do, maybe like, subscribe, hit that sexy little bell notification. That'd be pretty tight too. If you are new, what's great is the class is still very much available. 25 free lessons here. You can probably check out the top right corner right there for it and go ahead and watch those if you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you are a veteran here, I appreciate your continuous support. That's very nice of you. It means a lot to me. You know, it's like having a bunch of internet friends and like Halo and Call of Duty, old-fashioned Xbox Live stuff. It's like having you all here, and I appreciate that. So is my cat, who's also on my hand right now, being a little bit grumpy today, and that's okay. If you want more content from me, if you enjoyed this a lot but you want to kind of upgrade your experience, check the description box down below. I have a bunch of great stuff down there. We have newsletters, we have videos that are early access, we have in-depth content, a whole community here. If you're sick of trying to learn by yourself and then also trade by yourself, come check us out. We're going to make your life a lot easier, I think, have a lot more fun trading, learn some stuff. I would definitely check it out if you enjoy what I do, for sure. Yesterday's video from Thursday, not yesterday, but the last video, is also in the top right corner right now. Check that out. Plenty of great plays in there that are still at value that can very much be played. Lastly, I don't discuss volume profile here. I have a video on that, a whole great lesson. Again, top right corner, check that out. The whole entire lesson up there is going to be fantastic for you to learn a whole new tool. I like using volume. It's really important, especially for options and stuff, but use that with volume profile. It'll make you a better trader. Lastly is my journal in the description box. I have all the plays that I call here, and I keep track of them for my Discord members in them, but I also keep track of them for my own use. So if you want to check out how the plays that I call are doing, go check it out there. I think it's really important for you as a consumer of content to verify what I'm talking about makes sense and actually works, because you'll find out a lot of folks don't know what they're talking about, and they kind of suck at this and just try and bite the wave, but we've been here for a hot minute. With that being said, 8 great plays. Let's go right into it and get this bad boy running. First is DXF. You're going to see all my charting here. I'm going to put a chart on the screen real quick. Here we go. That's what my charting means if you don't know, and it's a lot quicker than me going through it with you. Check it out. DXF is fantastic because it's Dunxin Fin Holdings. This is a great little penny stock. I don't really love penny stocks more than any kind of ticker, but it's fine. Like larger mid caps more, especially the Russell 2000 stocks are a lot easier to read, but this is just fine. Very easy support play. We're anywhere under 96 cents, 95 cents is a great support. We can see it's breaking a little bit. Let's not get overwhelmed. But what's good is this falling trend line here. We can see on DXF this great trend that's held 3 or 4 times now. And these are not small moves. That's 15-20% moves every single time. Is holding just fine. It's important to note with this trend line down that any one of you idiots, any one of me idiots, can draw a trend line from A to B. We can see with DXF, it's A, B, C, and D. That shows a lot more life to me. It's much more consistent. I do like what DXF is doing here with the falling trend line. Do I love that? No. Do I like it? Yeah, it's consistent. But again, it's not the perfect setup. It's still really good, though. So great trend down. The POC is gravitational. It wants to pull us higher, and the support's really nice right here. A great amount of convergence going on. Again, what are you risking here? 6-7%. Just to hit resistance is almost 24, so it's still 3-to-1 odds here. If it does dip, to 91, 90 area, the risk is very small. I love what I see. Let's check the indicators together. What's great about this channel is I actually don't scan with or chart with indicators. You're going to find out that indicators show you 4 things we call the MTVV, I guess, notes system. I don't know, it doesn't matter. MTVV, momentum, trend, volume, and volatility. That's all it shows you. As you get better with technical analysis as a whole, you're going to find out that the TA is the cake and indicators are just the icing. I use the EMA lines, Vortex, Stochastic, and of course our RSI to show these 4 things. If you are new to technical analysis, you're going to see live what a veteran sees and breaks it down for you and how to go about it. It's a great little tidbit for you, a little baby snack for my baby angels. Let's check it out together. DXF, off the bat, what's important to me and sticks out is the 200 EMA line is doing what? It's going down. It's pointing downward. See how recently it's pointing downward? That to me signifies I'm going to put more emphasis into the downtrending trend line more than a support play. Why? Because the support play is horizontal. And if I had an EMA line, the 200 for the example, going sideways, I put more emphasis in the support play and less into the trend line. But because the 200 is pointed downward, and again, just so you can see, the 200 is the red one, it's pointed downward. See that? From the last month, it's pointed what? It's going down 10%. Because it's going downward, I'm putting more emphasis into that falling trend line more than support. So I would look to buy into there if I were you. Boom. So the 10 cross, the blue one, you cross the 10, what happens? It's pretty good. Like this is a nice little 17% move. You cross the 10, you're good to go. And you can see it's a really good resistance on the way down. So waiting for a 10 cross is fine. If you're not convinced for whatever reason that we have good value yet, waiting 2 or 3% for a cross makes sense. So buying the value at the trend line or wait for a 10 cross, both make sense to me. I'm leaning towards, actually both look pretty good here. The reason is you have a 33 RSI that's oversold. We have a nice stochastic setup. This is not a bullish divergence quite yet. You had one here. See that? That was a nice bullish divergence. And as of recently, you don't have one quite yet. I mean, it's getting there if it does dip farther. But again, it's still low at -65. And then here, this is our vortex. If the bulls cross, that's a buy signal. So every time it crosses, like right here, that's a buy signal. It crosses here, buy signal. Crosses there, buy signal. Or you can buy when it bottoms out, probably towards what seems to be 0.60. So if we do get a crossover tomorrow, in the next few days, you should get that 10 EMA cross. Otherwise, you want to buy low. But DXF here is a great one to watch because if it does show life tomorrow, if the macro markets look good, this does cross the 10 EMA line, you can probably mitigate risk pretty easily and ride that bad boy up. If it dips farther, which is possible as always too, you have a great value in that trend line. But DXF, I definitely watch this in this week. Next is ELAN, not Elon, no, not Musk, but ELAN. It's like my name minus a V. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But we have El Naco Animal Health Inc. Good stuff. Love me some aminals. Isn't that right, Gremlin? That's a good boy. This is a really good horizontal trend. What we're giving up with convergence, we're getting back with simplicity. What do I mean? With this play, there's no trend lines. There's no supporting, no falling, blah, blah, blah. There's no patterns that are beyond a horizontal channel. So we have less factors bringing us up. This is just a simple support play. By giving up those convergence points I called out, the pattern that's more bullish, the trend lines, we get back simplicity. It's a very simple play. Even for a beginner, it's pretty idiot proof for what it is. So we're giving up some stuff to see that below this volume profile line or bouncing off it, every single time so far it's come down here the last year, it's made money. I don't mean like a little bit. I mean, we're talking like 15, 20, 30% for full moves here. So now that we're below here, we're definitely at value. We're at value right now. So again, we may want to do an EMA crossover, but off the bat, I'm leaning towards buying into a low price to then sell high. Value. So I think the support play is very much alive. Am I going to rush in? No. Who am I, Vladimir Putin? Don't shoot me, but that's a Russian, you'll get it. So ELAN is a really good support play at 27.70 to 28. Anywhere in here risking 1, maybe 2% at most. And again, a full move to volume is almost 11 to 1 setup. What more could you want for a play like this? Sure, it may take weeks or months to really do that. Maybe you're looking towards maybe like a 10% move, which is 5 to 1 quicker. But overall, a great play. Let's check the indicators together. Once again, I want to buy into value. So I think we have that down here. A 10 cross is fine. Okay, you get above a 10 cross, you cross that blue line, you usually have a pretty good time running it up. Now again, there's some that are pretty choppy. Like see how you had to wait for it to actually hold to make money? Sure, a 10 cross here is fine. Would I give up 3% to see it here? Probably not. But again, we do dip down farther and then consolidate and this 10 EMA line comes down farther. Sure, a 10 cross is fine if you're risk adverse, but overall, I do want to see a value purchase in my opinion. 36 is low, -70 is low. Bulls and bears are consolidating. It makes sense. We're going sideways here. ELAN is a very simple play that's fairly idiot-proof. I don't think it's always idiot-proof because some of y'all prove me wrong sometimes, which is fine. But overall, it's a very easy play to read. I love what I see. ELAN, I'd watch list. Next is HBAN. I love this ascending triangle. How do I know it's ascending triangle, Evan? Because I said so. Now look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're kind of milling around, which it does, right? But we can see bulls over history the last year have said, hey, it's fair at $10. And they go, well, actually, it's fair at $12. Well, actually, I want to buy at $13. Well, I want to buy at $14. Well, now $15. And we see bulls are buying in higher. What are bears doing, Evan? They're going to get pushed to $16.55 and have no power anywhere else but here and at $16. Anywhere below $16 so far, price action says, yeah, they may get some momentum, but overall, bulls are saying here, 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 here. We're squeezing them out here, right? You may only see 10% for a full move here. Yes, it may take almost 39 days to get 10%. Nothing to write home about. But if this does break out, which is a breakout pattern because it's an ascending triangle, you get the good move, you should have a very good time. It's like last week, PFSI we called, right? Remember this? This is the same exact kind of setup, right? We're getting in to this breakout here. HBAN is a breakout. We're buying into value. The risk here, 4 or 5% to make 10 easily. I'll take that any day of the week. HBAN, let's check the indicators. When it comes to the EMA lines, you know, they're all going sideways. See that? They're all going sideways. So I think the support play is very valid here. A 10 cross, sure, you can play that. I think a 50 is much better. See this? A 50 is a much better cross play. And now would I want to wait 1.5%? That's fine. If you want to wait for that, great. If not, totally fine too. It's fair, it's fair, it's fair. They're all in the middle. This makes sense because HBAN is going sideways the last 2 or 3 weeks here. But the pattern itself at the macro level is very clear of an ascending triangle. In these kinds of markets, I love bullish setups. This is an obvious bullish setup. I love what I see. HBAN, I definitely watch. Let's get into this week. Next is RVLV. Again, a more aggressive play here. Compared to other ones, it's much more volatile, right? You can see sell-offs of almost 13-14% in less than a week. This is a broadening wedge. I didn't draw it on here because it's not perfect, but look at that. It's a broadening wedge. What's this mean? Every time we get a pattern that's going downward or upward that has a megaphone shape, you know, you get a megaphone, you talk into it, like, you're like, hey, over here, idiots, like those things. What this means is that you're either going to pressure the supporting trend line or the resistance trend line. What happens from there, if you muddle around and you hit the supporting trend line, you're not going to hit the resistance trend line ever again. It's going up, right? If you're down here muddling around, this is still going, you're going to form a new pattern off the supporting trend line. If you pressure the resistance trend line, again, you're not going to hit that supporting trend line. Long story short, when you see a megaphone broadening wedge, it means a new pattern is going to form. That's what I want to get at. A new pattern will be forming soon. Now, is this pattern going to be a possible trend line from here, like this, and kind of going to go a little bit more lackadaisical and kind of start to curtail horizontally? Will it be a channel play? We're going to see, but all I know is that a new pattern is going to form soon. Overall, this is a very great risk versus reward. 1 or 2% is all you're risking here. You lose the lower low, you're out, or you're done. And again, if you get a nice move here, it's still like 5-1 just to hit $70 here. Again, this is not really catching a knife. If it does form a support, it's fine. It is a harsh sell-off from earnings, but again, if it does hold in this area, great. If it doesn't, you're going to look for 55 and go along there. But overall, it looks pretty good. Let's check the indicators. I'm sure EMA lines have a nice insight here. 10 crosses are fine. They're fine. It's not perfect by any means, but plenty of moves come off the 10 EMA line just fine. 250 crosses are too far away. Overall, it's a good value. Besides that, EMA lines are fairly worthless here. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it's low. No divergence. It's lower lows, lower highs. That makes sense. And then bulls and bears are kind of closing the gap here. RVLV, it's more risky than I like to have when it comes to this gigantic sell-off, but overall, it is a really good play, especially if this week it starts to form some support and show some life. Overall, RVLV, I'd watch this in this week for sure. Next is SLI, which is very similar, but a little bit less aggressive. And again, it's still aggressive. It used to be $1, now it's up almost 700%. Not great, but again, the trend is still very much there. Very volatile. You can see moves of 20-30% in a day, and there's a lot of gaps. So again, a stop loss is mandatory in my opinion for all my plays. It needs to be one for yours as well. Here, you're risking what? 4 or 5% to see maybe, hopefully, about 25. It's still 5-1 odds here. It looks pretty good. Great uptrend. This candle is a bit concerning, but again, it's just wicking, so like, who really cares? Like, it's not the end of the world. Otherwise, it's a very good trend up. Very solid. And again, you have a very, what's this look like? Another broadening wedge, right? So again, I think we have a good case here that a new trend's going to form, new pattern's going to form in this range. I want to buy low into that and see what happens. When it comes to indicators, I'm sure a 200 is going to be a resistance. Yeah. That the 200 breaks going to be a really great go long signal. if you want to wait for that. A 10 cross is really good too. See the 10 run-ups over the 10 here. You want to wait for that? Great. Both work fine, but in my opinion, the 10 is much better than 200 given risk versus reward. RSI, it's fair. Stochastic, it's fair. Vortex, it's fair. We're going sideways, right? The last, 7 days, we've not moved at all. We're just kind of consolidating here. SLI overall, it's less aggressive than RVLV, but it has that wick that makes me a big concern. But overall, for an uptrending play, it's very easy to play. SLI, I watch this, I do like what I see. That's a good kitty. Okay, let's get away from the keyboard. It's a good boy. Next is TELL, T-E-L-L, Tellurian. Spelling, I was a champion. Not really. I probably lost in the first round. TELL is a great looking play here. It used to be an ascending triangle, right? It was very similar to that. And now we have a nice uptrend. Do I see a resistance trend line? Not at all. This is no resistance trend lines. Maybe you could argue somewhere around here. It doesn't have that. This is just nice spikes off of value. And we can see already in this trend line, it's starting to show some life. Low risk, massive reward, great support play. It's evident that old resistances are becoming a support. You know, you do have lower highs, you have higher lows. It's definitely starting to consolidate towards this range. It's a small cap, $3. So again, you're risking more than I like to, 9% to hopefully see about 18, 2 to 1. But if it does dip down about $3, it's a much better setup. I would wait for this to kind of drop a bit more. Let's check the indicators. 10 crosses are fine. They're a bit choppy. All right, all these plays are a bit choppy given the volatility of penny stocks. But a 10 cross is right there. You want to wait for that, great. And again, if it doesn't live, if it doesn't live, it comes down pretty quickly, right? So you want to wait for a 10 cross, probably very smart. So it does drop down to, $3, $3.05. You have a much better setup to buy into value. I would wait for a 10 cross here for sure. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it's low. Bulls are extremely low. That's a great sign. Bears are extremely high. Overall, TELL has sold off massively, and it's still at a good value here. Great support play, great trend line play. I'll definitely watch this at TELL. I love what I see. Next is TGB, Tesco Mines. Love it. What a great consolidation. Again, this resistance trend line may be a bit cavalier to put. It's only had 3 wick hits. But again, it is pretty consistent of lower highs across the board, but also higher lows. Horizontal wedges, we're playing the consolidation. Before I turn on the indicators, which again I had not seen on this channel yet, for this time frame, I want to see if the 200 or the 50, mainly the 200 EMA line, is it in the middle of the triangle going sideways? If it is, that's really going to strengthen our argument for a horizontal triangle. If it's not, it may just be a trend up we're going to see here. Oh, you're getting a little bit frisky there, bud. So TGB, great trend up, great support, very easy play. Let's see where the 200 and the 50 are. We can see they're not towards the middle. They're a little bit lower. If they were up here, I'd say it's much more likely being a triangle than just a horizontal play here, which is fine. This is still a very good value. Could you play a crossover? Sure. All 3 are only 3% away. You cross over all those, the 10 crosses the 50, it keeps going up. You get that golden cross. It could be great. I mean, 10 crosses are great. 50 crosses are great. You can certainly wait for that. I would definitely just go off of value myself here. But again, it is selling off, 9% in 2 days. Waiting for some life does make some sense. RSI, it's fair. Again, it's going sideways. Vortex shows that. It's just going sideways. The good news is we do have a great value in the stochastic. No divergence. It's higher lows. But if this does hold, this is a very good deal. And the stochastic may come true and show some life here. Overall, TGB is a really good value given the support play here. Very low risk, higher reward. I would definitely watch this at the end this week. I do like what I see. Last is Zim. What a show. I miss it. This is a fantastic trend up. And again, 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4. Blue car, red car, boop, boop, door. Dr. Seuss stuff here. No, that's a really good looking play. Great ascending triangle forming. Again, Bulls said, hey, I'll buy 32. Bears said, frick off around here. Bulls then said 40. Said frick off here. Bought in higher. Got pushed out again. Bought in higher. So again, we have a nice ascending triangle here getting higher. I would be concerned if it was a wedge up. If it was more like this, I would be concerned. We're going to break down eventually. But this gives me hope. With this breakout here, we actually have a nice looking ascending triangle. If this trend holds true, again, we're risking 2, maybe 3% to make hopefully around 15. 5 to 1, if you risk 3, 7.5 to 1. I'm good at math for 2. Great setup, great trend line, great support play. Very easy. Let's check the indicators. That 200 cross is very valuable. If you cross the 200, the price crosses over the 200, we usually have good bullish momentum that happens. A 50 cross is ideal. A 10 is fine too, but a 200 cross here, if you want to wait for that, is just fine. I'd buy into value myself, but that crossover works just fine too. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it's low. Bulls are low. Bears are high. Overall, ZIM has some great upward momentum. You may be thinking it's up, 10 to 60 in 1 year. It can't be that good of a deal. Yeah, but if you're always thinking you're late, you're never going to be early for any move. So I would definitely manage risk here. And if you do so, it being up so much isn't really a problem if you play it correctly with a stop loss and good risk management. Zim, I'd watch listed. There you guys have it. We'll see you guys the rest of this week for some great watch lists. Again, new content's coming, new website, new newsletter, new great stuff's on the way. We're just getting some stuff handled first, and then we'll get into that. But overall, we'll see you guys in a week for some great stuff. Thank you for being here. We'll see you guys then.